Have you ever found yourself scrolling through social media, seeing someone else's highlight reel, and feeling a familiar ache of inadequacy? Perhaps you've compared your career path to a friend's, your appearance to a celebrity's, or your life achievements to someone who seems to have it all figured out. It's a common human experience, this tendency to look at others and measure our own worth against their perceived success. We often fall into the trap of thinking we aren't good enough, smart enough, or talented enough, simply because we are not exactly like someone else. This constant comparison can be a heavy burden, draining our joy and dimming our unique light. But what if there was a different way? What if you could truly accept who you are, with all your unique qualities and strengths, and never feel the need to compare yourself again? Now, imagine a world where every creature tried to be something it wasn't. Picture a bustling forest, alive with the sounds of nature, but something feels a little off. In this forest, there lived a magnificent fish, known for its shimmering scales and its incredible ability to navigate the deepest, darkest parts of the river. It could glide with effortless grace, its fins propelling it through currents that would sweep any other creature away. But one day, the fish looked up from the water's surface and saw a bird soaring high above the trees. The bird flew with such freedom, dipping and diving, seemingly touching the clouds. The fish thought, "Oh, how wonderful it must be to fly. My life in the water feels so limited compared to that boundless sky." So, the fish, in its earnest desire to be like the bird, began to try and jump higher and higher out of the water, flapping its fins with all its might, desperate to catch the air currents. It would flop back into the water, gasping for breath, feeling utterly exhausted and deeply discouraged. It couldn't fly, no matter how hard it tried. It started to believe it was a failure, simply because it couldn't do what a bird could do. In the same forest, there was a beautiful bird, with feathers the color of the sunrise, and a song that could melt even the coldest heart. It loved to fly, to feel the wind beneath its wings, and to build its nest high in the sturdiest branches. But one afternoon, as it perched on a branch overlooking the river, it saw the fish gracefully moving through the water. The fish looked so calm, so at peace, effortlessly gliding through its watery home. The bird thought, "How amazing it must be to swim, to explore the hidden depths, to feel the cool embrace of the river. My life in the air feels so exposed and fragile compared to that silent, mysterious world." So the bird, in its own quest to be like the fish, began to try and dive deeper and deeper into the river. It would plunge beneath the surface, flapping its wings, trying to use them like fins. But its lungs were not made for water. It would quickly resurface, sputtering and coughing, feeling cold and utterly disappointed. It couldn't swim, no matter how hard it tried. It started to believe it was inadequate, simply because it couldn't do what a fish could do. And there was also a strong, agile monkey who was a master of climbing, swinging from branch to branch with incredible speed and precision. Its grip was legendary, its balance unmatched. But the monkey too observed the bird soaring and the fish swimming. It felt a pang of envy. It thought, "If only I could fly like the bird or swim with the grace of the fish. My climbing feels so ordinary, so confined to these trees." So the monkey tried to launch itself from the highest branches, hoping to glide, only to fall awkwardly, catching itself just in time. It tried to swim, but its heavy fur and lack of fins made it sink and struggle. The monkey felt a deep sense of frustration, believing it was missing out on the true wonders of the world, simply because its talents were different. A wise old owl, perched high on the oldest oak tree, had been observing all of this. It watched the fish struggle to fly, the bird gasp while trying to swim, and the monkey stumble in its attempts to soar. With a calm and gentle voice, the owl finally spoke. "My dear friends," it hooted softly, "why are you so intent on doing what is not meant for you? Why do you strive to be something you are not?" The fish looked up, its eyes filled with sadness. "Because I want to fly, wise owl. The bird is so free, so magnificent in the sky. I feel limited and small in the water," the bird chirped mournfully. "And I want to swim, wise owl. The fish is so peaceful, so graceful in the depths. I feel vulnerable and exposed in the air," the monkey sighed. "I want to do both. I want to experience everything, but I can only climb. I feel inadequate." The owl blinked its large, knowing eyes. "You are all magnificent creatures, each with unique gifts. Fish, your ability to breathe and move through water is a miracle. You explore depths no bird can reach. Bird, your wings are a wonder, allowing you to touch the sky and see the world from above, a view no fish can comprehend. Monkey, your strength and agility in the trees are unparalleled. You navigate the forest canopy with a skill no other creature possesses. Imagine if the bird stopped flying to try and swim, or the fish stopped swimming to try and fly. they would both fail, and in doing so, they would neglect the very things that make them extraordinary. They would lose their true purpose. The animals listened, a glimmer of understanding slowly dawning in their eyes. The owl continued, "Your true power lies not in trying to imitate others, but in embracing your own innate abilities. When you try to be someone else, you diminish the magnificent being you already are. The world needs a fish that excels at being a fish, a bird that excels at being a bird, and a monkey that excels at being a monkey. It does not need a fish trying to be a poor bird, or a bird trying to be a clumsy fish." This story, my friends, is a powerful metaphor for our own lives. In the same way that the fish, bird, and monkey each had their unique strengths and natural habitats, so too do we as humans have our own distinct talents, passions, and paths. We are not meant to be identical. Now imagine a forest where every tree tried to grow exactly like the tallest oak, or tried to bear the same fruit as the apple tree. The forest would lose its incredible diversity, its beauty, and its strength. Each tree, whether tall or short, broad or slender, evergreen or deciduous, contributes to the forest in its own unique way. Remember, comparing yourself to others is like a tree trying to be a fish. It's an exercise in futility that only leads to frustration and self-doubt. When you constantly measure your worth against someone else's achievements, you are essentially telling yourself that your own unique journey and accomplishments are not good enough. You are ignoring your own inherent value and the special qualities that only you possess. Your path is yours alone, shaped by your experiences, your dreams, and your natural inclinations. So how do we stop this cycle of comparison? It begins with awareness. Recognize when you are falling into the trap. Then, intentionally shift your focus inward. What are your strengths? What brings you joy? What unique contribution can you make to the world? Celebrate your individuality. Understand that your weaknesses are simply areas for growth, not reasons for shame. Embrace your journey, with all its twists and turns, its triumphs and its challenges. You are a masterpiece in progress, a unique expression of life. There is no one else exactly like you, and that is your greatest power. Accept who you are, with all your beautiful imperfections, and allow yourself to shine in your own authentic way. When you do this, you will find a profound sense of peace and self-worth that no amount of external comparison can ever diminish. You will discover that your true freedom lies in being unapologetically you.